Indigenous peoples, the first Canadians. Long before Europeans came, Canada was home to Indigenous peoples for thousands of years. These include the First Nations, Inuit and Métis. They had their own languages, cultures, and ways of life. They hunted, farmed, fished, and lived in harmony with nature. Indigenous societies were rich with traditions, storytelling, and spiritual beliefs. They played an important part in shaping the land we now call Canada. 2. European exploration, 1400s–1600s. In 1497, the first known European to explore Canada was John Cabot, an Italian sailing for England. He reached the east coast of what is now Newfoundland. In the early 1600s, French explorer Samuel de Champlain founded Quebec City in 1608, marking the beginning of New France. The French started fur trading and built friendly relationships with many indigenous groups. Later, British settlers also came and established colonies, leading to competition between France and Britain for control of the land. 3. British versus French, the struggle for power. In the 1700s, France and Britain fought several wars for control over North America. The most important was the 7 Years' War, 1756–1763. In 1763, the war ended with Britain defeating France, and France gave up most of its Canadian territory to Britain through the Treaty of Paris. This is how Canada became a British colony, but many French-speaking people stayed, especially in Quebec. To keep peace, Britain allowed French Canadians to keep their language, religion, Catholicism, and laws, which still influence Quebec today. 4. The birth of a nation, Confederation, 1867. For many years, Canada was a group of British colonies, but over time, the people wanted more control over their own affairs. On July 1st, 1867, the Dominion of Canada was created through a process called Confederation. The first 4 provinces were Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. This marked the beginning of Canada as a self-governing country, though still part of the British Empire. Over the years, other provinces and territories joined, and the country expanded westward and northward. 5. Expansion and immigration, 1800s–1900s. Canada grew rapidly in the late 1800s and early 1900s. The Canadian Pacific Railway was completed in 1885, connecting the east and west coasts. Millions of people from Europe, Asia, and other parts of the world immigrated to Canada to farm, work, and build new lives. However, this expansion often came at the cost of Indigenous peoples, who were forced onto reserves, had their land taken, and suffered through systems like residential schools, which tried to erase their culture. This dark chapter of Canadian history is now recognized and remembered through truth and reconciliation efforts. 6. Canada and the World Wars. Canada played a major role in World War I, 1914–1918, and World War II, 1939–1945. Thousands of Canadian soldiers fought and died. These wars brought international respect for Canada and helped shape its national identity. After World War II, Canada welcomed many refugees and immigrants, helping to build a multicultural society. 7. Canada becomes fully independent, 1980.